Welcome to I Do What I Do, where we explore how and why folks do what they do to forge their path and create fulfilling, squiggly careers. I'm Zara Bartels, once a dancer, now a creative operator. And in this first season, we're in London, once my home for many years. So whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a creative soul, or just curious about what makes people tick, have a listen. You'll be inspired to do what you do better. Let's go.
All right. Uno ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Are you sure?
No, that's what I just said. Oh, God. Here we go.
Right, so.
Okay, we're rolling.
Because I like to do my clap.
Cool. For you only.
John.
What do you want?
Oh, man. Okay. Jonathan Andrew Hume.
What's up?
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so excited that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to I Do What I Do.
Thank you.
My podcast.
This is your podcast. Have you got 3 hours? Because this is going to take a long time.
We do. Not really, but we can. Jonathan Andrew Hume, a.k.a. Drew to me, one of my nearest and dearest and most important people, and I'm not going to get emotional.
Oh, you do realise off camera, I'm just going to say this, off camera, she was proper baiting me out and saying that she doesn't know why we're friends.
I mean, I don't, but that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it. You are a West End genius. You have played Simba for how many years? Too many years.
A good number of years. A good number
for
of years.
a few. Like how many? Seriously, do you remember?
Probably what? I'll probably have to get a calculator out and figure it out, but yeah.
Oh, because you're old. Anyway, West End genius, i.e. you've played leading roles in the West End for a multitude of years. You've been in West End shows since you were 17. Mm-hmm. You've also been in first casts, so Come From Away. You're currently in Guys and Dolls as Nicely Johnson, which I saw recently, and once again, super proud. But Lord, that wig, jeez, on ages, that wig that they put on you.
That wig's just for a little section of the show.
I know, but please, as I said to you, please make it a Christmas card.
I will make it just for you. In
Yeah,
fact, you know what? When the show closes, I might actually try and take it and send it to you in the post.
Oh, no. Because then I'll have to be like, I have a stalker. You are also a voiceover artist. Mm-hmm. You are a singer with a beautiful voice.
Thank you very much.
And
I should come on this thing more often.
Yeah,
wow.
take it when you can get it, because you know it's not going to happen often, right? And you're a dad.
I am.
To a very adorable, smart young man.
Yeah, he really is.
And more importantly, you're my friend. Mm. So welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for doing it. So you've been in the arts for a very long time, since you were 17.
Yes. I love how you stress the very.
Yeah.
Because we old now.
Not only are we old, but I remember a distinct time when you didn't like to say your age.
I mean, I still don't really like
and I used to be like, dude, it's fine. What? So you're younger than everyone else. That's actually not a bad thing in the arts. Yeah. That's saying something about your talent.
But you know what's funny, though? I know we'll probably get further into this, but I think, especially now that I'm older, looking back, the reason why I did that, I think, is because I felt belittled isn't the word. I did feel very little in that big pond in the West End. It was my first West End job. Yeah. It was my first professional job in the West End.
And it was a big show. You were in The Lion King. It was a huge show.
I started before you, if you remember. The age difference between myself and the next person older than me was a good 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
It's only when my year came in that there was people closer to you in age.
Yeah. So I instantly was the young one. Mm-hmm. And I think in order to preserve myself and not feel like the baby of the bunch, I just wouldn't say my age and acted older.
So you still don't want to say your age?
No, I'm good. I'm 40 something. How old are you?
I'm 43. I turned 43 April 2nd, 2024.
That means I'm 40. Yeah, I'm 42 in November.
See?
Yeah.
You're not that old. I'm older than you by a good chunk.
Yeah, you're really old.
I know, but I look good. I look good doing it. Could you imagine doing anything else in your life?
Do you know what? Yes and no. I can imagine myself doing something different. I've always wanted to do something to do with physiotherapy, like maybe sports massage or something along those lines. But I know I'm not done with this yet. I would miss it. I really would miss it. And I probably, because of that, I would probably annoy the heck out of anybody I would be massaging, singing
'Cause
along
you'd be
to any
trying to
music in
sing.
the
Oh,
background.
geez, on ages, I would kill you.
Yeah,
And I can imagine you doing that shit too.
it's true.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah.
Mm-mm, no.
Make
Unless
sure
I make it a business.
a singing
singing-
masseuse. No, stop it.
There's a market somewhere,
Oh,
I'm
dear
sure.
Lord. Don't make me regret this.
Copyright Jonathan Andrew Hume. Singing Masseuse, 2024.
Oh no. Sorry, listeners. This is going to be like this, but that's because we love each other.
That's
and we
cool,
have a very long-lasting friendship that has been through the madness of life. Okay, let's get a little bit more back to the interview part.
Right.
Right. So you started in The Lion King very young, 17, right? So how did you end up in such a big show at such a young age?
There's luck, and there's accident, and there's hard work in all of that. I think I'd have to start like way back. I've always been into music and performance in some way. My mom and dad would always tell me if ever I had a story to tell, I would gesticulate and act it out, and it'd always take 10 minutes longer than it needed to be done
Really?
to tell the story. You see, there's some sort of familiarity here.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So yeah, so I would always be acting in some sort of way. And she would say that I would make these little holes in the carpet, these little burn marks in the carpet where I would start turning,
Oh, dear
pretending to be
Lord.
Michael Jackson. And she was like, he's got all this energy. We need to take him somewhere. And there happened to be this Saturday afternoon theatre, local theatre school at a community centre. If I remember correctly, it was called Archie's. And I really enjoyed it. I just had loads and loads of fun. And I was cast as Buttons in the local pantomime of Cinderella. I must have been 11 or 12 or something like that. And after one of the shows, the owner, Archie, came up to my parents and said that we had a casting director for a TV show called Grange Hill and would like to invite you to audition to be an extra or a background artist in Grange Hill. So I did that for 2 years, being a supporting artist in the TV show, and it was so much fun. And there I met other kids who were doing similar things and learnt that these theatre schools, there's big versions of them. And there was one that was local to me called Bowden Studios. So I went along to that one, and they had an agency. I joined the agency, and I got a couple of other background supporting artist roles and like TV things when I was a little kid, and just really enjoyed it. And then part of that school, part of that performing arts school, they had a choir. I see how this story. You see how this is. I haven't forgotten the question.
I'm more thinking like I have never heard any of this,
Yeah,
and
I
I've
know.
known you for so long. But that's how much I don't care. So go ahead, tell the people. The people care.
So at that school, they had a choir called the Bowden Show Choir, and they would sing show tunes and popular songs, and just in 4 or 8 part harmony. I joined that, and it was there that I discovered there was a thing called musicals. It wasn't just people singing along, but there was actual musicals that were created with stories, and I was like, this is amazing. And I would go to the library and just rent out all of these cassettes and CDs of these different musicals. And yes, I know it's lame, but it's what got me in this industry.
It's also how I could totally see you
Sitting over
going
the
to the
tape.
library, all excited and finding like a new musical to watch, and you're like, oh
not
my
to
God.
watch, to listen to
Oh,
the
right.
soundtracks, the cast recordings.
I'm so not surprised.
And so I would listen to all of these. I think this is amazing, and this is what I want to do. But still, I'd not seen a musical yet, apart from Mary Poppins or something on TV. And I went to see the musical Rent when it first came to London.
Oh,
The original cast, and I went with the rest of the choir, and it blew my mind. And of course,
that was a good intro. That was a good one to
Yeah.
start with.
and of course, I'd heard the soundtrack already. I knew all the words, and me and my friend were sitting there
Is
along.
that the 10,000s one?
Yeah, the 10,000 one. 521,
That one.
5,600 minutes. And I just fell in love. And I knew
Did you sing
that's...
on pitch just now?
Pardon?
Did you just sing on pitch?
Of
Because
course I sang on pitch.
just making sure,
That's
because
fine.
people gonna hear this.
That's fine, because we can auto-tune it out anyway.
Sing for me.
I just did.
Properly.
Oh.
Don't you hate
What
when
you
people
want-
do that?
Yeah, I kind
When
of
people
do.
find out what you do and they're like, can you sing? You're
Yeah.
like, no.
What can you sing?
pay me first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you pay me first? That was a question.
Yeah, in love. I've done it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've paid you in fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
I've paid you in love.
Cool.
I've paid you in support. I've paid you in good notes
Mm-hmm.
and teaching you how to point your foot. That's how I've paid you.
You taught me how to. You didn't teach me to do it, though.
Your foot can't do it.
That's facts. That is facts.
Back to
You heard it here first.
5,021 minutes.
So Rent, and I fell in love with it, and I knew I was watching the people on that stage, and I thought, this is a job. This is something people can do. I want to do this. Fast forward a little bit, and a friend of mine, I was doing my my first year of A levels.
Oh, you did A's?
Yeah,
You
I
didn't
did my
finish, did you?
A-levels. No, I did.
Oh,
I
did
my
not
A-levels.
even know you did A's.
Why? Because I'm that
Because I
stupid.
don't care about anything that happened before you met me. Have we not established this?
Oh, I apologize to everybody watching and listening to this.
Or maybe they're like, that's a real friend.
That is a real friend.
But okay, I didn't.
So-
What subjects you do in A?
I did English literature, music, and general studies.
That totally makes sense. I see you doing those. Those are
Yeah.
things that you love. Yeah.
There you go.
See, I didn't need to know because I know you.
There you go. So a friend of mine who was in my music class got in contact and was like, there's a newspaper called The Stage and there's an open audition for The Lion King. Now, bear in mind, The Lion King had only just opened in West End. There's an open audition and I really want to go. Can you come with me and be there to support me? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Of course I'm going to do that with you. And me being stupid, in my head, I was like, I'll stand there in that line with her and she'll go in and then we'll go back home. And so my mum was like, you're not just going to go there. You've got to prepare something as well. So I prepared my song and the morning of the
What did you
audition
sing?
came. I sang Heard It Through the Grapevine. I cannot sing up that high anymore. But whoa, I bet you're wondering how I knew that your plans and maybe blue with some of the guy you knew before. And it was that note that made everyone just go, ooh.
And by
The
the, way,
morning
you
of the
can
audition
still
came.
sing it because you just did.
Thank you. But that was, anyway, I digress. The morning of the audition, my friend calls me going, oh, I'm not feeling well. And I thought, well, I've prepped this. I've got my train ticket. I'm going to go anyway. So I went there and I lined up around and the line for the show, the auditions, came out of the stage door around the entire building, up the Strand. It was absolutely huge. There were hundreds of people in this audition. And I went there and I waited in line. I had my
How long
16
did you
bars on
wait?
stage. It was an all-day thing. Had my 16 bars on stage and went off. 6 or 7 auditions later on, they called and said, the part we want you to go for is no longer available because the person decided to stay. Anyway, so then a year went past. I then finished my second years of A-levels and then I got a phone call from the casting director saying,
A
"We
year
would like you to
later?
come a year later, we would like you to audition again." I was like, oh, okay, great. So I then went in, auditioned, got right down to the finals and auditioning. And it was like, less than a minute. I went in for that final audition and then they were like, thank you. And I walked out and I was like, I've auditioned like at least 15 times now for this. And I go in for 30 seconds and they just say thank you. Fine, whatever. Walked out of the theatre, walk into the Royal train station and I just hear, Jonathan! And Claire Impey running down the street trying to call me back. They need to see you again. They need to see you again. And then they said, oh, can you sing some of the Simba stuff? So I sang my little bits up there. and
Endless
then
night.
At that point, because it was just dropped to me, it was just a bit of reprise. He Lives in Your
Oh,
Reprise.
something.
Yeah. And I booked the job as an ensemble member in Lion King. But the funny thing about that is the day before I got the phone call for Lion King, I got a phone call from Mount View Performing Arts School, which I'd also auditioned for, saying, you've got into Mount View. So little old 17-year-old me was like, I could either go to full-time education at Mount View and learn how to get into the industry, or I can go into the
full-time
industry.
education in the industry
And basically do an apprenticeship in it. And I went,
with some of the best in the world because
Yeah.
you met Thea Barnes.
I did. I met some fantastic nurturing people. And
I would agree.
there's some water right there if you need it. something caught in your throat. And I'm not going to lie, there were days where I was like, I think I've made the wrong decision. I think I should have gone.
Really?
And
Why?
because I would find myself in spaces where they would talk about techniques and all of these tools and exercises that I had no clue what people were talking about. And I just felt very out of place. I slowly realized that I was in a very fortunate position where I was able to learn on the job through these people, learn by osmosis, which is very much the kind of way that I learn anyway. I learn by doing. And literally had a masterclass in how to do this job.
And let me tell you, as someone who actually was one of your teachers, essentially, that's what was so good about working with you. Yes, we are friends, but at the end of the day, I was your dance captain, and I had to make sure you were doing the damn thing on the stage. And you were one of my favorite people to have to say, you're not doing that great, because you knew you still had learning to do, right? And that openness that you always came to rehearsal with, and just as a human, was what made it so easy. But then also you could laugh at yourself, like we talk about your feet. So you have that balance, which you can get that when you train, like the way I've trained. I'm trained to the hilt. But at the same time, it also means that sometimes I have a lot more to unlearn sometimes, depending.
Yeah.
Like you approached it with, I'm an open canvas. I don't know nothing. Or I should use proper English. I don't know anything. And so you were willing, and you would try anything, and you would also give it your all. I have seen you like fully leave it all out. And like when you got that, there was a thing, and I don't know why. The other night I had this really clear vision, and I can't tell you the surroundings. I don't know if we were on the stage or if we were in studio. We were rehearsing Simba, and it was the pirouette in Hakuna Matata. Yes. And
that damn pirouette.
It wasn't being your friend.
Yeah.
And you just kept on going. And I remember the first day that you stuck it, and we were like, "Aah!" and honestly, in all of the experiences that you and I had together in that building, those 10 years, that was one of the really small ones that I'm sure we both chucked away because it, like, you fell in the pit in the elephant and bounced out, right?
There's a security grate there now on purpose because
you
of me.
nearly put your foot in a tuba. We've seen some madness.
Yeah.
And that was just like this really small moment that I think we've both thrown away and forgotten, but I had this really vivid memory of it. And it's that thing that you're open and willing to always learn. And there's a piece of you that I'm always like, this boy, ain't nobody dislike Andrew Hume, which semi-annoys me, but it is who you are. You are such a loving, giving human, and everyone likes you. So much so that everyone used to be like, how are he and Zara friends? Let's be honest. All of y'all haters. And the reason is because, actually, I don't know, but we are. But you bring that to all the spaces that you're in. You bring that to every show that you're in. And I also laugh at you because you are super lame. You are my lamest friend.
I am.
But it's fine, and that's also what I love you. But your lameness also means that you are so giving. Man, you be taking pictures with fans and signing autographs, and I'd be ducking out with a hat and be trying to stealth my way out of crowds. Do you ever get concerned that those fans are like feel that they have access to you too much? Because you're so nice and open.
That's an interesting question. I think there's a very obvious line where my personal life is, and I never cross that. I find that maybe because I know how much joy theatre can give people who watch it, especially people who aspire to be in the industry. I know that a little bit of interaction and a little bit of a further experience into the craft can do wonders. There's many things that I live by. There's two that comes to mind straight in my head. First one is never stop learning. Someone said to me once, and I will never forget this, never ever stop learning. The day you think you know it all is the day to leave. So there's always that. And I always pass that on as much as I can because I've been in this industry for, nearly 25 years now. And I've seen amazing, talented people. I've seen some very lucky people. I've seen some people who have no business being in this industry because they just take it all for granted.
Or people who you're also like, how'd you get on that stage?
That came from your mouth, not mine.
And I will say it again with my full chest.
But I want to make sure, or at least try and be a part of the next generation being good people and setting a good example for the next generation after that.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's enough people doing that. When I was in the show, there was a tranche where the cast got considerably younger. And I think there was something missing. There was definitely something missing with regard to the appreciation of the craft, the doing of the craft, the honing of your skills, the knowing that you don't know anything, all of that. And I think that's really important, that more people, especially the older heads in this business, need to continue passing down those things and making sure that they understand theatre etiquette. And when you're in a rehearsal and what we're all here for, and remembering that it's not for the gram.
And it's not just for you.
And it's not about you at all.
Even if, at all. Even if you are the one person who's performing on that stage, it's not all about you.
Yeah.
It's what you actually put out there and what you give. And I do also find that there is less of an appreciation for the enjoyment of discipline. Whereas discipline, I find sometimes with the younger generation now in this industry, when there's discipline that gets laid down, it's misconceived to be
a buff.
Yeah. As opposed to, this is a lesson to learn to better you for the future. And I'm passing this down because I've done this.
Take it in.
Yeah.
To take it in.
And that's one thing I'm so fortunate about when I met and worked with Thea Barnes, was she and yourself were from that ilk of people who learnt with discipline, learnt with knowing that you have an ability and that where your ability lies and that you've got to work and strive to get up to get there. And you haven't got there yet.
Thanks.
Just because you got the job doesn't mean you're a superstar.
Doesn't mean you keep the job.
That's the thing. And you and I both know that once you've got the job, some people within 2 weeks can be out. That's the thing about this industry, though, is that, and now I'm going to sound like an old man, is that I do blame...
You always were an old man.
I know. I do blame...
One of my favourite things about you. It is.
I do blame Pop Idol, American Idol, X Factor,
X
all of those
Factor, all
TV
them
shows,
damn
because it's
shows.
been given the opportunity, which is great. It's given people the opportunity from anywhere in the country.
And any background. It's,
Any
it's
background.
democratizing access.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But what at the same time it has done is it's given people instant fame.
It's essentially limited the reality of what it means to have a talent, hone a talent, live in that talent, and continue growing that talent.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you have all the machine that you need. But that's why most of these people, there are very few of them that turn out to be the Jennifer Hudsons. Because they can't hack it.
Yeah.
Because your technique and your skill is what you rely on when the going gets tough and it kicks in. And it's your DNA that makes you survive that rough patch. So talking about all that, you've been doing this for a bit, and you've always been in musical theatre, which means you're hopping, skipping, jumping, dancing, or trying to dance.
Yeah.
No, you've gotten so much better. Let me
I'm
not
a singer,
let me not
actor,
be mean.
mover.
Let me not be mean. Your dancing has improved so much. And I remember the last show that I came to see, and I don't know if you're putting it on for me because I was watching, but I was really proud.
This Guys and Dolls.
Sorry, your last Lion King show.
Oh, yeah.
But even Guys and Dolls, you did some movement. I was like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
But also, like, by then I knew what you could do. You know what I mean? But your last Simba performance, and I was just like, man, I felt so proud. I felt so proud because you've come leaps and bounds. What number did we say? Nearly 20 years? Or over 20 years?
Nearly 25 years.
So nearly 25 years. How do you keep yourself functioning? What do you do to stay healthy on that stage and being able to deliver?
I think it goes back to what you were saying about how what's the word I'm trying to think of? How I compose myself generally in life and in the theatre. I try and be nice to everybody. I'm not going to say I try and have a relationship with everybody, because I know some people are ships in the night and some people I'll just see them for a second or whatever, but I don't see that there is any reason where I can't put myself out there and say hello, say good morning, say how are you, learn people's names. So I always try and do that, so that at least what it does for my experience in a selfish way is it makes me part of that community rather than an outsider. At the same time, again, going back to one of my things that I always carry with me, never stop learning. I will constantly be telling myself before every performance, did I have a note before? How can I implement that note into this show? And what can I do better? What still has room for improvement?
Yeah.
And then also, am I getting comfortable in anything? If I'm getting comfortable in a certain moment, how can I switch that up? How can I make this more exciting for myself? Being respectful for my other actors on the stage as well, and the direction. So those are always in the forefront of my mind. And what that does for me is that it makes every show new. Every performance is different anyway, because you've got a different audience in the seats. You
Different
have
energy.
other people on the stage who are maybe having a good day or a bad day or whatever, and different energy coming out, as you said. But I can make it new for myself as well. I'm in control of that, and I despise autopilot. I get bored in autopilot, and also autopilot is where, for me, a lot of mistakes happen.
I think that's where a lot of mistakes for everyone
Yeah.
happens.
So I try and just make it fresh and new and enjoyable. And like I said before, the second I think I know enough, I've done it, or it's not enjoyable, it's time to bounce. This is the industry that I've worked hard for years to be in. And if I'm not happy, then I need to find a way to make myself happier. And if that means getting out of that job and finding a different one, then so be it.
Yeah. We established that you're old.
Mm.
Physically. So that's beautiful, and that's the approach and the mental fortitude and your personal ethos and how you maintain as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
And your first show was a physically intensive show.
It really was.
Doing Stampede with them dang masks and all that madness, swinging off a vine and jumping and all that. How are you making sure that you can still do this physically?
Physically, my relationship with gyms has been really bad.
I hate gyms.
I really
Fire up
cannot
on a gym.
stand gyms. The amount of money gyms have taken from me because I've signed up on January 1st, attended for
you bought into the consumer holiday?
many times. And then small print is, there's this fee for when you leave or whatever. So I figured out that gyms are not my friend. My physical maintenance, I'm older, is yoga and stretching. And that for me is brilliant for my maintenance. Keeps me on that stage, and touch as much wood as possible. I hardly take a day off.
Really?
I hardly ever take a day off. And if I do take a day off, it's normally 1 or 2 days and I'm back to whatever I need to do, because I know that every part of me, my voice, my body, and my mind is a muscle.
Yes.
And it needs to rest. And sometimes there's a little battle with myself. I've been like, okay, you do need to rest. And my body's just, I'm going to make sure that you rest right now.
Yeah.
But it's about preserving that. And I find that yoga, meditation, stretching, and the food that I eat as well, those are the things that have kept me into this in a good condition. And then, it's just being good about... I also don't drink.
You used to.
I know, that's why I don't drink. Like how I was under the influence of that stuff.
Interesting.
I think for me it was very much an escapism with a lot of rubbish that was happening in my life at the time. And
You were always good. Sorry, I interrupted you.
no.
I was just going to say, you were always good when we drank, but that could also just be because you were with me.
Yeah, completely.
And so we were good. And also, I'd slap you upside the head if anything happened.
Exactly,
and
which is why we're cool.
You know that I have your best interest regardless. Yeah.
I didn't like that loss of control.
I have never been with you drinking and you've lost control.
I think there's a degree... I think what I'm thinking of the loss of control is...
Lack of inhibitions?
like cognitive control.
Okay. Yeah,
What
that
I
would
mean?
happen with alcohol.
Yeah.
But
I also hated hangovers. I absolutely despised them. Yeah.
and we used to smoke a lot because we were in our 20s. But more importantly, you need to do that for your voice, to preserve your voice, which is another part of you. You are also a voiceover artist.
Yes, I am a voiceover artist.
Do you think girls like that voice?
I have to say, I have done a Bridgerton style
Have you?
audiobook.
With sex scenes?
Yeah, it was sexy.
Oh, gross! Ew!
And it was funny. It was the first one of those that I've done before.
I'm glad you don't tell me what books you do, because I would not be able to listen.
And I remember we were recording it, and the director was on Zoom in the States, and I would read the line, and let's say something like, I don't know, and then he reached down and he grabbed my dress and slipped it off. And the guy was like, more, I need more. Bring it more. So I was like, and then he reached down. I need more. And then. There were a lot of laughs.
Oh, this is entertaining. How'd you
Yeah.
get into voiceover work?
It was something I've always wanted to do. I have grown up with audiobooks from as long as I remember. Even to this day, I cannot go to sleep without an earphone in my ear and audiobook. And it's always just relaxed me. And obviously, after listening to lots of voiceovers, I then would just really relate to how they would tell stories. And that's the industry. I tell stories every single day. And it's just something I've always wanted to do. I just thought I could do that. And
Did you just?
No, I didn't. It took a little while. I got a voice reel done, and it was
Your show reel,
It's
but
a
doing
just
different
reading,
accents, different readings, different styles.
making up a commercial.
Is it video or
No,
is it
or
just
purely
audio?
Purely
Right.
audio. And it was okay. Went to some classes on how to hone in on that. Found out what my mistakes were, fixed those up, got the equipment I needed, practiced, and eventually got picked up by a voiceover artist and have recorded a number of books.
As an
and
agency, voiceover artist
voiceover agency, and picked up a few books that you can find on audio or find on Audible and other
We'll
places.
put in the episode notes. I don't want to know them because I don't want to hear you reading out a sex scene.
That's okay. See, that one's not in my name.
Oh, you ghost voice?
It's under a different name, a
Ghost.
pseudonym.
Ghost. What? Why'd
know.
you choose a different name? Because
Well,
you're
they gave me an
embarrassed about the
option.
sex scenes.
Do you know what they gave me the option for that?
That means it's a straight-on chick-lit romance novel where he rips off her blouse and then he dives deeply inside of her and he... I actually do want to know what it is now. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, you're maybe not my lamest friend ever now. Yeah,
You
you're
learn
kind of
some
cool.
things. You learn something.
You're cool. You do the voiceover, you sing, you act, and you're a mover. Which one's the hardest?
Ooh. I would probably say the moving dancing
Yeah.
for me is probably the
Why do you think it's the hardest?
because of my lack of confidence in it. Purely.
Because I don't
I
think
have
it's
a
a
lot more
talent thing.
confidence in it, but I know deep at the back of my head there's this voice saying, you can't do that, you can't do that.
But you can, and you did, and you have.
Yeah, it just takes me a little while. I hope it's not politically incorrect, but I call myself dyslexic dancer.
It might be.
I mean, delete it, maybe not put it on.
It might be. No one cancelling you, and I'll come for them if they try to anyway. What would be the word? Something you would dance challenge?
The reason why I use the word dyslexic in there is because whenever I've been taught choreography, let's say you say left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
It doesn't click.
Yeah.
When I switch it around the other way, you mean right foot. If I say left foot, it then works.
So you don't mirror people well.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Or
And that,
even if you told me.
but
so
your
when I
left foot
take
is your left foot is your left foot.
I know, but when let's take Stampede in Lion King.
Okay.
When the choreography for that would happen, it would go, this foot goes up,
Doom,
that
doom,
foot goes up.
Doom. Yeah.
So, what Thea would say would be left, right, left, right, left, right, as in that's the foot hitting the floor. My brain would go my right foot's going up. Then it would then carry on to other different ways. So whenever I would find myself really challenged with choreography, I would have to take a step back, and which people would probably think I'm overthinking at the time. And I'd be like, no, I just need a second to take this in, and I would switch it around in my head, and then my body would do it.
So how did you figure that out? That's what you had to do.
I think by accident, maybe one time, I think, and
Probably Stampede itself.
probably Stampede, and then something just clicked and was like, oh, so you mean the other foot?
Ah. And which one do you think is your easiest or your biggest or your best talent of all four that you deal up in?
I'm most comfortable voiceovering.
Why?
Excuse me. Yeah, I'm most comfortable doing voiceovers, I think, because I don't know. Maybe it's because I've listened to them all my life, and I love telling stories and going on the journey and doing the different voices and finding excitement, the sounds, and creating that in my voice.
I thought you probably would have said the blend of singing and acting.
I enjoy that very much. I wouldn't say that's the easiest, though. It's a lot of hard
So you
work
keep
that goes
working
into
at
that.
it.
Yeah, I do keep working. And I do enjoy working at it. There is something that I absolutely revel in when creating a character or creating a song or putting it on the stage and finding the story in that and putting that into my own words and my own physicality so that Jonathan comes out in that.
So weird when you call yourself Jonathan, even though I know that is your actual name.
Yeah.
But it's just odd to me. There's a reason why I know you as Andrew, but your name is actually Jonathan Andrew Hume.
It's with equity. Yeah, it's a whole...
Somebody
everyone
else
can have
had
the same
Andrew
name.
Hume?
Someone else had Andrew Hume.
What was your most difficult note that you ever got?
Ooh. The most difficult note I ever got was probably... It's a little bit more complicated than this, but it was probably like do less. And by that, I was told that... This is when I was doing Simba. They said to me, Julie Taymor created this role, and when the actor who's playing Simba goes on that stage and does that, they need that actor to be giving 80%. No, that wasn't it. Let's scrap that. I remember.
We got all deep.
Yeah,
And I
that's
was
what it
about to
was.
be like, ooh, why 80%?
That's what it was. It's like when the actor playing Simba needs to be on the treadmill at number 8 to get through that show. And
physically, you mean? Like,
yeah,
you need to
get
be
through
able
the
to
show,
sing.
to be able to perform at a level 8. Most people need to work to get to a level 8. They're normally running at level 5, and they need to put in a little bit more work to get to level 8.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to you saying that I put my all into everything.
Mm-hmm.
That person said to me, you normally run at level 11.
Oh, were you trying to say that you're that good?
No, is that I worked too hard
No, I know.
and that I needed to bring it back to level 8.
Yeah, because you were extra.
And my problem was, and this is why it was so hard, is because anything less than what I was giving felt fake.
So that's the kind of growth that I think is important, because as an actor, a dancer, particularly someone who's doing something 8 shows a week, 6 days, you have to know when to give more and when to give less. And also, we have to remember that our 100% is 150 of a typical person's 100%, because we are raised to always do that.
Our generation.
Our generation. But the important part is understanding that sometimes when you go to 11, 11 reads too much, and 11 is the fake part.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 8, which it isn't fake, it's just you're being smaller, because that's actually what a human does. We don't walk out the world looking like this all the time.
Yeah.
Which is sometimes what I hate about going out with theater people, because they be trying to sing everywhere. And I'm just like, no. The other day I was out with a bunch of ex-Lion King folks. We were celebrating someone, and they started singing Circle of Life in the People in Them restaurant.
No.
And I was just like, oh my God. I was dying inside. And they were, granted, these are talented people. That was one of the things we were saying. Like, the amount of talent at this table right now is wild.
But no one asked for it.
But no, nobody else eating their food asked for y'all to sing Circle of Life.
But you see how you're talking about how level 11 is too much. That's why the note was so hard for me, because I not only found it very hard to go to do less, I found it...
Did you feel like you were cheating?
I found it a little bit insulting, and it hurt my feelings. Not insulting. It really hurt my feelings to be told you're doing too much. Because I would give my all on that stage.
And that's what you want to do.
And it was in my head,
balance.
I was being told,
Take it down.
what you working hard is not good. It's not good. It's not that it's not good enough. It's not good. So it's in effect, they were telling me, don't try. And the struggle I had with me when I heard that note for the first time was, but me trying is the enjoyment I get in the show, in my
And also that's
industry.
what they tell you all the time. Always try your best. Always give 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the hardest note I got. And it did take me probably months and months for my mind to get around not taking that as an attack on me and on my work.
How do you do that?
A lot of conversations with myself, with other people, with the director, to try and change the narrative in my head of you're not failing. Because ultimately that was my fear, was failing.
I think that's a really important lesson to learn, actually. And also, even when I put it into my genre of dance, it's if you are in an ensemble, the job is to not stick out.
Yeah.
The job is to be part of the whole. And then the whole is what's amazing and fantastic and brilliant. Kind of like Grasslands. When you think about Grasslands, the beauty of that piece is looking at it from a bird's eye view. That's the real beauty of it. And the way it's so mesmerizing. But the minute some tunts doesn't want to geisha the way Thea Barnes said to geisha,
Yep.
it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And it's problematic.
Yeah.
It's a bit of counterintuitive approach to being in the arts, where there's a thing where your uniqueness, your talent, your being expressive is what gets you the job. And on the flip side of that, do you remember what your most impactful? That one was impactful, so let me change the verbiage. Your best note. Your most praising note. You probably got a lot of those, though.
Honestly, it's
honestly.
gonna sound lame. But
No surprise
my
there.
best note. Well done. Yeah. From the right person, honestly, from the right person.
It's just because that's something I would say.
Yeah. From the right person. Especially, I love you to pieces, and I know that you want the very best out of me.
Yeah.
And you will never give me praise when it's unwarranted.
True.
Which is what I love about you. It's what I love about my wife. It's what I love about other friends of mine. You will see something and you will go, that wasn't good. Or, exactly. And I won't take that to heart.
Yeah.
Because the type of person that I am, I see that as great. Okay, so that's actually constructive. I can do something with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, from those people to hear, you did good. That was great. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that really matter.
That's true.
The ones saying, oh, you are amazing. That's fantastic. Those are great.
It's lovely to hear.
It's absolutely lovely to hear. And most of the time, meek me goes, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great. When I hear well done from the people that really know me and really matter, those are the best.
Yeah.
That's it. It's as simple as that. Well done.
Yeah, I was saying to someone earlier today, we were talking about my dad and the fact that my parents just let me dance and didn't really try to push me in any other direction. And my biggest compliment came from my dad, who came to see me after I'd gone away to university and come home to do a show, and he was like, Oh, now I know what the fuss is about.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, my dad did that once. He came to see the first time he saw me as Simba.
Oh.
He came and watched. He saw me at stage door. It's one of those core memories.
Yeah.
Saw him at stage door. I can remember the shirt he was wearing and everything. And he just hugged me and said, "Well done. Well done. That was really good. Proud of you."
Yeah, those are the ones.
It was like,
Those are the ones. I'm getting a little bit emotional thinking about them. Those totally are the ones. You've met a lot of people in your journey. Because you've been in multiple shows. You even did this one in Singapore.
that was my first foray in my first
in
principal
leading,
role.
In leading the show.
Yeah, it was Lion King in Singapore.
Man, I gave you the best going away party.
You really did.
That was ace. And remember that wildness that we wore the same colors without even
I know.
That's one of my favorite pictures. People, right?
Mhm.
There's loads, and you've met some talented people. We've worked with some, oh my gosh, like the only thing you could say is God-given with some of these people. Out of all these hundreds of people that you've come across and worked with, are there any that have particularly resonated with you as an artist and that inspire you to keep going or that you always return to?
We've mentioned her many times in this episode already, which is Thea Barnes.
Oh, Barnesy.
And
We should probably explain who Thea Barnes is.
so Thea Barnes, unfortunately, was
Yes, no longer with us.
this force of nature of a woman. We started Lion King together, me and her.
Yeah, you did the year
She
before
became
I got
the
there.
resident choreographer at Lion King in London. And what was great about Thea was that she saw everybody as an individual.
She did?
She saw everybody's potential. But at the same time,
she
she
was
did
not
not
gonna let you-
compromise.
She wasn't going to let you not hit your potential either.
That's the thing.
She was going to
But
push you.
in pushing you, she would not compromise her method.
Yeah.
In doing so, she would not coddle you.
Nope.
She would let you make your own decision as to whether or not you were going to step up.
Yeah.
And earn your potential.
Yeah.
But at the same time also, she was always open for questions, open to spend more time than was necessary to get you to where you wanted to be.
Yeah.
And
I
it was-
agree with all of that.
Yeah, it was Thea that got me into yoga. It was Thea that got me to be able to touch my toes, that got me to be able to stretch. I have so much more flexibility than I ever could in my entire life, thanks to Thea. There are vitamins I take to this day because of Thea, and the Bible worth of printout of research about a certain vitamin that she would give you.
Oh my
she would
God,
never do
the
anything by
woman.
halves.
Never. She never did anything in halves.
But and I think that's also a little bit of the way I approach work, is from her example. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all, basically.
Yeah. And also, like, historically, Thea learned about in dance history when I was doing my degree. She comes from Chicago. She was in the Wiz. She's in Martha Graham Company. She was in the Ailey Company. She was one of Martha's muses. Like, their solos, and I feel like it was the Yellow Dress, where that was made on Thea. So for me, also coming from Ailey, which she was a company member, she had her own company. She is such a force. But for me, working with that woman was, oh my God, I'm touching greatness.
Yeah.
And then for her to turn into basically my second mother, and for us to have that relationship. Similarly, she grew me and nurtured me and turned me into who I am. And also, I'll never forget when I told her that I was leaving Disney after 10 years, and after 10 years of being her right hand. And I told her, and she was like, it's about goddamn time. I was like, what does that mean? You are so much bigger than this place.
Yeah.
And you need to go out there. You get that next degree and you just take over. It's about goddamn time. I didn't want to have to kick you out.
She knew it, though.
And I was like, okay, woman, I hear you. I see you, and I'm going to up you. And I did. And her also telling me, well done, and I'm proud, was one of those that was so impactful.
That's one of the things, and when I did the show Come From Away, that one is one of the shows in my career which was really, I'm very proud of.
You should be. You were excellent in it as well.
And one of my regrets is her not being able to see that. Because she
was
passed
ill before.
when we were in
Yeah.
Dublin and we hadn't moved into
to-
London yet, where she would have come and seen the show.
That was rough.
And I just wanted I wanted the opportunity
Oh, she would have been so.
to.
She's seen it. She's seen it.
I know,
She's around.
but it's making me teary.
I
man.
know. We need to
Oh.
stop. Okay. Whew!
What are we doing? Oh, we're
Shake it out. Shake it out. You and I are friends because we worked together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have been your friend. I don't know
Probably
why.
not. Probably.
Do you ever not love what you do, though?
There have been times. Generally, when I've not loved what I do, it's because of a person who I have to deal with, who we just.
That's when you
Don't get
call in
on.
reinforcers and I punch them in the face.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But
There's always a
anything
reason as to why I don't
Yeah.
enjoy it. It's not the industry as a whole. There's something that's
Like a specific thing
Yeah.
that you could remove and then it's fine
Yeah.
again. And how has the industry changed in the 25 years that you've
my
been doing
gosh.
this?
I'd say immensely. The reasons why I got in the industry, I find are less of a focus of what people get into the industry now.
The reasons why you got into... Right, less people get into the industry for similar reasons that you did. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there we go.
What were your reasons?
For the love of performing, for storytelling, for dressing up and pretending to be something
Characters.
else, and yeah,
The
all-
imagination of it.
yes, and
What do
again,
you
it's
think people
making me-
get into it now? I know
the
you're assuming
Instagram
because...
likes.
Mm,
There's a lot of that now, and I've been in meetings where I've sat down and they've said to me, "So we noticed that you've got this many followers, so we would like, and that's more than other people in the company. So could you be able to help with the social media drive and stuff like that?" That's not my job.
how much are going to pay you?
That's the issue now. Is that it's hard because a lot of the audience
We'll come
are
and see the show
reached
because of you.
through social media.
Yeah. There's so many people that I have seen on your social media come see a show because of you.
I find
You
it
have
quite humbling.
fans?
Yeah, it's quite humbling.
I just heard what I said.
At least you did.
I can't believe you have fans. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, Instagram and the social media, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
It is. Especially when... Now, I can't do these TikTok videos and all this stuff. I take my hat off to people that have the talent and the time to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just not that generation. That doesn't come to me naturally.
But you know what was a good use of social media? When you were in that other show in the Bridge, I forget the name of the show before this one.
In the Bridge.
In the Bridge Theatre.
At the Miniature Chocolate Factory.
Well, oh, it wasn't at the Bridge. Oops,
No.
my bad. At the who?
At the Miniature Chocolate Factory.
The Miniature Chocolate Factory. I didn't come see that show, so I don't have any
The Third
recollection.
Man.
That one. You guys always did this.
Every single
There was a
performance.
certain part of
Yeah.
the run that
The
you explained.
The daily dash. There's a guy in the show who had a moment where it was just two people on the stage, and he had
So
to exit
everybody else in the
up-
cast wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
They were off stage. Yeah.
He had to exit upstage left, run through the bar to downstage left, to then come back onto the stage. We would be chilling in the bar as a rest of the cast because we didn't have anything to do at that time. We had another cue later on. And he would run, and it would take him 10 seconds. The song was still happening as he was doing it, so there was no time to stop and wait. So it just happened when I would just, out of a joke, just like, I'm in your way, gotta get past.
Wait, you started this?
I started it.
I can't believe you
Was
actually
it me?
started
I think it was
something
me
cool.
and somebody else. And then that grew into a couple of other people joining in.
It grew into a full set.
Full-on performances.
Yeah.
Because in the basement of the Miniature Chocolate Factory, they have a plethora of costumes and props and everything. So in this 10 seconds, we would
right.
create productions.
Yeah, you did. It was good.
So he
It
would
actually was
run
really
off
good.
stage into the bar, and we would have we will create the Little Mermaid. We did a mannequin challenge. We did.
I feel like you did a whole Olympics style
Yep.
100-meter dash or something.
Yep,
Probably.
we did football games. We did sumo wrestling. We
Yeah.
did the circus. We did horror movies.
How did you come up with the themes?
It was myself and 2 or 3 other people in the building who would just, before the show started, every day, would just go into that bunker and go, what can we get inspiration from today? Oh, let's do that. And then we would find other pieces together and then get everybody else involved. And then it was so much fun. And the reason that would then go online, and that gained a following. So much so that I went for auditions for other stuff, and they would look and say, oh, you did the Third Man. Oh, I loved the stuff you did on Instagram.
That's brilliant. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. It does have
Yeah.
its power and its benefits. The downside is the upkeep
Yeah.
of that, because it is instantaneous and it's for a minute or a day or
But
whatever.
also, it's if you're doing the thing for the likes, then at some point it's not going to work, or you're going to have to work a little harder.
And unfortunately, no disrespect meaning, but unfortunately some people are hired for the amount of followers they have,
Yeah.
rather than whether or not they can do the job.
And back in the day, it used to be that they were hired for their celebrity, which is why a lot of celebrities do musicals. That's the one thing I give Lion King props for, where they don't hire celebrities, because they could definitely have.
Oh,
They could definitely pull in the names, but also that's a testament to the quality of the show. Dude, we've been talking for a minute. Do you want to talk about anything else in particular? Other than how much you love me?
you know what? Listen, I'm gonna just say it now. I love you to bits.
I love you too.
And our journey as friends has been exponential.
Yeah.
We've been through so much together.
Lord.
We've seen different countries together, different
I know,
cities
so many
in
people
the
tried to
world.
make us a couple.
Oh, no, that's never going to happen.
Gross. But they really did.
Yeah. We would sooner kill each other.
Yeah, we would. And I'd get away with it too.
You really would? Where is he?
Oh.
Around here somewhere.
You know,
with you? And I just love you to pieces. And I just love the fact that even though we don't speak every single day, we can always pick up where we left off.
always.
You've got my back, I've got your back. You give advice, I give advice. I tell you when you're stupid, you tell me when I'm stupid.
Yeah. We grew up together.
I listen, you don't.
That's true.
But yeah, I'm immensely proud of everything that you do.
I'm proud of you too, dude.
Thank you.
Super proud.
But
Keep pointing
you
them feet.
inspire me. Honestly, you really do. From even back in Lion King, with just how you carry yourself. The fact that you were studying for your masters whilst performing 8 shows a week and being a dance captain and all of that sort of stuff, you're just brilliant. And you inspire me so much. And I'm just very fortunate that you're in my life.
Let me tell you how much is reciprocated, and I feel the same about you. And you remind me to be a good person. And you also remind me that there are real good people in this world. And
I try
ha
to be.
ha, he's my friend, not yours, is what I have to say to everyone else.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
But we ain't done yet.
Oh, we ain't done?
Nearly done.
Oh, laminated.
Ha! Inside the actor studio, which obviously you know.
Yes.
James Lipton and his 10 questions.
Ooh.
I've stolen them.
I've always wanted to do this.
Yay!
I'm so going to fail.
Can you fail it?
Oh, no, let's do it.
Okay, what's your favorite word?
Actually,
Actually?
I think it's my favorite word because my wife tells me I say it all the time.
Okay. What's your least favorite word?
Oh, my least favorite word, idiot.
Why?
It's just negative.
I do like how the Irish say it, though.
Egypt. Egypt.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's like when someone tells you, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah.
What turns you on? I don't know if I want to know this answer. What turns you on? It doesn't have to be sexual, actually.
Do you know what? Even if people can't sing, when people try to sing and you can see the joy in their face, that
Oh, because when people try to sing and they can't sing, that is not fun.
I know, but if I can see that they are having the
That
time
they're
of their
enjoying
life,
singing.
I
Yeah.
love that.
What turns you off?
Entitlement.
I feel that one. What sound or noise do you love?
This is audible.
Is it
Such a lame answer.
what sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, nails on a chalkboard.
Who does that? Chalkboards don't exist anymore, mate. There's whiteboards.
Yeah, but what's the surface? Whatever kind
Yeah,
of surface that
yeah.
is,
That's
that
true.
grating noise. Oh no, you know what noise I
You
scratched
change
that?
your mind? Okay.
Yeah, I changed my mind. That noise where you're clearing your ear. That I can't do
Clearing
it.
your sinuses.
Yeah.
This- Sorry. That was- I have a friend who's have a friend from home who does that so much. I don't even think he realizes he does that so much, and I'm just like, dude, just go to the doctor, get your sinuses sorted out. And when people do it and they're like allergies, I'm like, take a pill.
Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Ooh. I don't really curse that much.
I know, but you have to have a favorite one.
It would have to be the F word, probably
Fuck.
that one.
Okay. Thought you were gonna say your backside.
Do you know what? Do you know why? Because of Come From Away. Because one of the characters I played in Come From Away, Kevin J,
Yeah.
used to have a line where he goes, "Freaking the fuck out."
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So I used to love that line.
Okay. Other than the profession that you do now,
Mm.
which profession would you like to do?
Probably sports massage or something along those lines.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
And what about one that you wouldn't like to do?
Do you know what's really funny? It must have been like 8 or 9. And we did a talent show on in a holiday camp where my parents had gone on holiday with us. The MC came up to me and said, "What would you like to be when you grow up?" I was like, "I like to be a carpenter." I don't know why.
You would kill yourself.
I don't know why.
With all that heavy machinery, you would kill yourself.
And my mum found it the most hilarious thing ever and would never stop telling me that's what I said I wanted to be when I grow up.
So you don't
And
want to be that?
No, because I know exactly as you said, I would probably nail
have
my
no
hand
fingers. Yeah.
onto a piece of wood.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah, I think that's good. So if heaven exists and you get to the pearly gates, whomever is the person that meets you there, what do you hope that they would say?
Well done.
Well, Andrew Hume, well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
This has been so much fun and good, and we
I'm
laughed
like
and we
emotional
joked.
now.
I know.
Do you want to give an outro to say thank you for everyone listening or anything else?
I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry. I thought you was getting up.
I was just putting down my book. Rah! Jonathan Andrew Hume, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you made it.
I'm glad to.
And you've made my day. And for all those who are watching, obviously, you know, I love the dude. Thank you so much for taking the time out with us. And see you again soon. See ya. What was that?
It's the heart. Yeah. See? And that's how we end. And cut.
Give me a hug, dude.
I love
need
you.
to tinkle too.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. I'm very proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Now that she's gone, this is what it's really about.
That's all, folks, for today's episode of I Do What I Do. Biggest thank you to you for listening and to my guests for sharing their journey. I am Zara Bartels, and a super duper special shout out to the incredible folks that supported me on this creation. Keegan Simon, individual, for my logo and social graphics, Nikolai Labari for my theme music, and Andres Albert for being there and doing all the things while we recorded at TYX Studios in King's Cross, London. Walk good, keep doing what you do. Until next time.